Hello friends, family and other creatures of the sea, and welcome to a game between Milky Cow and Creator. Milky Cow he is actually difficult to describe as a player. Many people probably don't know about him. He's a Russian Terran player, and what he likes to do is he likes to make the games weird. He's the type of guy that would slash everyone's tires in a car race, including his own, just to see what would happen. You know, like how good are the others at pushing their car? Like how fast are they at changing a tire? This is the type of game that Milky Cow likes to play. He is not here to play a standard game. He's never played a standard game. I sometimes fight him with my off race and he'll open up with freaking ghost builds. Like he'll play ghost mech, but instead of opening with mech, he'll open up with a ghost rush. In late game Terran versus Protoss, he's extremely keen on mass nuking. And he loves just sending cloaked ghosts around the map, queuing up 7 nukes, and then fighting with like a Viking ghost marauder composition at the same time as well. Like he's an extremely odd player that has his own little tricks. One of the things that he loves doing as well is rather than opening up with a Reaper, is that he opens up with a Marine into factory. That way you have a little bit more gas earlier, and as a result, your factory is like 4 or 5 seconds faster. Now that doesn't sound like a very big deal, but then he frequently uses it to go for some type of all-in as well. Like some type of, like, we'll see like, I don't know, like a fast Cyclone drop, or we'll see like a 4 Hellion drop with a proxy starport. This is the type of thing that Milky Cow loves to play. He used to play a lot of the drilling claws, mine drop builds as well. I haven't seen him do that in a little bit, but perhaps it's going to make a comeback. Yeah, once more. This is the Marine into factory for the faster factory. Let's see what the plan is going to be over here. Yeah, okay, yeah, well, this is clear as day to me. SCV is going to move towards the left side. There is a proxy gate on the map. This one belongs to Creator. They see each other here. So I feel like you're not going to be allowed to continue with your proxy starport, but it also feels like Milky Cow should be fine to defend whatever's coming his way. Starts a bunker. Wasn't the quickest response here, as he gets a mine out as well. It's going to be mine into a couple of Marines. This starport here is going to go down. So I think that might be for Proxy Liberator or for Proxy Banshee, but it won't really matter as this probe is going to scout it as well. Like I said, Creator knows what's good. This SCV is barely going to survive. Marine's actually being hit in the face pretty severely. This SCV is going to end up falling. Yep, there we go. It's going to end up dying. Bunker is here. Mine is here. I think Milky Cow has survived. The problem for Milky Cow is that him surviving without a command center isn't really much of an accomplishment, I would say. It's actually, like, if you've managed to die while rushing out a factory, a bunker, skipping the CC, like that would have been impressive. That is not what should happen. And we already see Creator is up 4 workers right now, right? Look behind all of this. Nexus already done. Stargate is on the way. So you see Creators going to follow this up with, I guess, Phoenixes. And now I'm very curious to see what Milky Cow's plan is going to be. Because he has no clue as to what the hell is going on. There's no Cyclone here, by the way. Just a tank coming in. Okay, medevac. So the follow-up most likely is going to be some type of tank push. So that was looking for some damage. First Phoenix is out. Second Phoenix on the way. Gateway count is relatively low. If at some point Milky Cow decides to add a Viking, I think things are going to go fairly well for him, as the gateway count for Creator is just pathetic. His production is going to suck massively. This Adept is barely going to escape. Oh no, it actually ended up dying, never mind. Yep, ended up dying to this Marine. This gate has now been unpowered as well, so Void Ray starts, so we're going to see a Void Ray defense. A follow-up Viking would be such a big deal here. It would be such a big deal, but you'll never do that blindly. It is such a rare thing to see. Oh, it actually does get it. Nice. But that's kind of lucky, because usually if you're playing against Blink, you don't really want to do something like this. As the tank Marine moves in forward, we're going to go for a first real attack. We have 3 batteries on the way, 2 Phoenixes, 2 Adepts at home. This is not a whole lot of units here for our good friend Creator. We have 7 Marines, 1 mine that will protect the tank. Let's see how well this is gonna go. I think with the help of the batteries, this should still be fine, as the mine is gonna connect there with the Void Ray. Tank is gonna get almost picked off. You get the pickup here in the medevac. Nice control. We see 2 more barracks being added in as the starport's gonna fly over here. Looks to me like it's gonna be the reactor. Oh no. Okay, so this is going to be a mass Viking push then. So he had the 1 Viking already, but he says one ain't enough. I want more. So this bad boy is under some heavy fire. I think you're going to need a faster third gas. Yeah, there we go. Third gas on the way. We have 3 barracks behind this, which are just going to be producing naked marines. Tiny bit of a supply block here for Milky Cow, who's just now going to start his next depot. Oh, that is kind of painful, because that's going to cost him a lot. No tank building, no second Viking either. We have a robotics facility coming down right now. 2 Void... This is one of these weird games. We're gonna have a fight with like 2 Void Rays, 4 Phoenixes, half an Immortal. It's going to be like 7 Vikings, 3 tanks, and 28 Marines without stim or combat shield. I'm not quite sure what this SCV was planning on doing, but he's gonna need to be sent down right now. Barracks is going to swap onto a tech lab to try and get stim or combat shield. It's going to be stim first. eBay goes down as well. Once more, a big supply block here out of Milky Cow, who should probably have had more Vikings already, but due to the supply blocks doesn't really have them. 2 Vikings are still out. We're going to get a pickup here. Prismatic alignment starts as well. As, yeah, Milky Cow can't really fight this. He's going to try and turn around, see if he can get anything down here. So one of his tanks ends up getting lifted. Second tank also gets lifted here. We get a target down on one of these Phoenixes. 2 more Vikings show up. That now brings us to 4 Vikings, which is decent damage output, but the Marine count is, well, practically non-existent. We have 4 Marines, 1 tank, 4 Vikings. Gateway count is at 3. There's a couple more Stalkers show up here as well. The control with the Vikings is actually fantastic. Look at that. The kiting against the Void Ray is great. It doesn't really matter how great your kiting against the Void Ray is if you're down 11 supply. You have no real ground output. Next tank shows up, good siege up, as 2 more Vikings also will land over here. 1 more tank is going to end up falling as if he's being pulled off the line. And now I'm curious what the follow-up is going to be. Because we have a Forge and a Twilight on the way for Creator already. So he's already making steps into that mid-game. He's walking the path of the mid-game. Meanwhile, Milky Cow is still... He's in a weird situation here, because he has a lot of Vikings. Which, don't get me wrong, is great. But is really only great for the next 25 seconds. And after that, not so much anymore. There's a single Void Ray that you can find. That's going to be it. So we're going to go for some Viking harass now as a result. It's one of the rare flybys you don't really see. 1 Viking towards the left. I'm not sure if this is... I don't know what it is. I don't know what the attention was, but it was god-awful. 2 Stalkers are here already. 3rd Stalker now on the way. Gonna get a full drop down on the Vikings. As a couple of these Stalkers are gonna end up falling. 3 Stalkers go down. Lots of probes actually end up dying here as well. This deals more damage than I thought it would, but still not a crazy amount of damage. Like 4 Stalkers or 3 Stalkers, 6 probes. It is something. But you did lose all of your Vikings. Behind this Creator is getting Blink, which is an odd call. Because it doesn't really help very much. The Blink. In making your army stronger. Like if you get Charge, your army becomes significantly stronger. If you get Storm, it gets stronger. If you get Colossi out, it gets much stronger. With Blink, you just stay alive a little bit longer. You're going to be capable of harassing a bit better. But you're often not actually stronger in straight up power. Something to keep in mind as barracks 4 and 5 come down. We have a lot of Immortals in the mix though. Combat Shield about to finish up. We have 3 tanks as well. Creator's going to walk in here. Terran is going to clear that. Oh my god, big blink in forward as 1 tank is going to get cleared here. This was a terrible blink for Creator. 11 SCVs do end up going down, but a similar amount of Stalkers also end up falling as the tank's now moving further forward. Get another stim here. Good target fire on that Marauder with the Immortals. Prism's gonna show up. See if we can maybe pick up one of these Immortals to make sure they stay alive. I think Creator's being a little bit over-eager here. Doesn't have a forward base behind it. And as a result, Milky Cow all of a sudden is in a pretty playable position. He's even in supply, but the worker count is also fairly close. And that means that income is most likely going to start trending into his favor. He's fighting pretty far away from the tanks, which is probably not what you want. The closer to the tanks, the better it's going to be. I'd also love to see an armory as well as a second eBay. Yep, there we go. Coming down. Double gases on the third base here too. Like, Milky Cow is going to start pulling ahead in supply bit by bit right now. We do have our first Colossus out already, I think. No, we don't even. So this is the first Colossus that just popped. Second Colossus still needs to start. Thermal lens only now on the way. No armor upgrades either. We're gonna need a second eBay. Yep, there we go. Second eBay comes down as Milky Cow moves across the map. Completely unspotted here by Creator. We get a big stim forward. That's going to be the end of this base unless the Colossus can come in and help out. Okay, Milky Cow is just going to stim away. See if he can kite it out. As a drop into the main base will be the next plan. I do not think you can do that. Into 4 Stalkers. Plus a couple of Zealots here as well. 2 of these medevacs are going to get taken out. 2 still remain, but they're pretty much out of energy. There's no secondary push with this as well. If we had, for example, a double drop over here, I'd say, okay, this was decent, but right now, this just ends up losing you 3 medevacs. And honestly, anything that resembled a supply lead is gone as well at this point. This medevac is going to go back home. Ghost being produced, as well as the 2-2 upgrade starting soon with a 4th base. Second starport. Ship weapons. This has been a fairly active game, despite its kind of idiotic opener with the proxy gate against the proxy starport, and then the mass Viking against the mass Void Ray Phoenix. Which is... I don't know what he just killed, but it looked like something died there. Two Zealots end up getting 4 SCVs, but it's not going to be game-changing, I think. So the main thing that Creator wants to wait for is Storm, and +2 attack, higher gateway count, and maybe even a bit of a bank. At the same time, Milky Cow is probably just working towards a +2 attack push. We don't see +2 armor quite yet. It's not the end of the world if you don't have +2 armor. It's going to get a 6th barracks in the mix as well, and a 7th barracks. Working off double port. So if you get like a decent Viking count, you get your +2 attack, and you have more than 3 ghosts. Usually as a Terran player, you can still make something work. And that's what Milky Cow here is going to try. So right now he's not in a great position. He's going to try to move over towards his 4th base. I think this is something that Creator should have denied. But Creator has enough units where he could say, hey, you're not getting that 4th base until you have a serious army. And right now there's just no serious army for Milky Cow. Stalkers moving in forward. These Zealots are going to try to see if they can get a tank down, maybe. Targeting that sensor tower. That was some very targeted harassment as well. They had one job. And they did it. These trained assassins. Observer speed coming out. How many robots do we have? 1 robo, 2nd robo on the way. More immortals coming in as well. We already have 4. It's going to go up to 5. So it's going to be Immortal, Colossus, Storm, Zealot, and then a group of Stalkers here. Not my favorite type of army composition, but it is what Creator is playing. Although, after the nerfs to the Disruptor, it feels pretty useless to build nowadays. Perhaps Immortals are just better, because at least they have consistent damage output. Stalkers moving towards the right side. Zealots over here. 5 Nexus. And where the first 8-9 minutes were quite attractive, the next 3 haven't been as great. Just a lot of posturing between the players. We have a Fleet Beacon, Dark Shrine. Milky Cow now should be looking for an attack. He's going to add a 5th base and maybe even a 6th base at the same time. Yeah, he's going to just bank a lot of minerals at this point. He has good enough production. And I think the only thing that makes sense for him is to try and see if he can get a reset on, for example, a Colossus count. Because his army is just not going to get any better. And the thing with Protoss is that the Protoss army does get better because you're adding more gateways in the mix, right? You'd rather play as a Terran against the Protoss with 10 or 12 gateways than against the Protoss with 25 gateways. Because winning a fight against the TOS with 25 gateways is much harder. Double fusion core coming in, I think this is a mistake. I don't think he needs Caduceus Reactor and Advanced Ballistics exactly at the same time. Milky Cow also just needs to get rid of some of his units. Like, he has an okay army, but in a minute from now, this is going to be a terrible army. Because you're going to want to have Liberators in it, higher Ghost counts, and he just can't build it. So this is the reason why Terran, when they're maxed, they usually want to fight. Or they max on a more powerful army. You could say, hey, I'm not going to be building any more Marines anymore. It's just going to be Marauder Ghost Viking. You have a much stronger army in that case, because you're not as susceptible to splash anymore. Creator just gives up map control here, by the way, which is honestly kind of surprising in and by itself. You have a mothership coming out here too. Advanced, okay, he's actually going to go for double. Advanced Ballistics and Caduceus Reactor, so it must have been on purpose. I mean, Milky Cow does have a lot of cash in the bank. As he adds a second Ghost Academy. This is what I was talking about. He just loves these nukes. He absolutely loves nuking random stuff. It wouldn't surprise me if we see a couple of nukes this game. Oh, here we go. Ghost being sent in further forward. Seeing if there's anything to EMP from a distance. Liberators being added into the mix as well. Fifth base is gonna land. We have a lot of command centers here. These Marauders here will clear a decent portion of the force as well. Now it's Creator's turn again, who does have a decent army. 5 Immortals with 2 more on the way. First Tempest coming out here too. Oh. There goes 1 Immortal. Double nukes being researched. Wonder what he's gonna attack, because there's a lot of cannons everywhere. 6th base on the right side is gonna get cleared here by Milky Cow. Quick EMP on the Nexus to make sure, yep, it's not going to be any type of recall anymore. A couple of workers will end up falling as well. Creator, by the way, on a fairly low worker count still, only at 70. So it's not like he's making great use of his superior map control earlier. Like, I don't think that's what happened here at all. This is a terrible fight for Milky Cow. Just runs in there, gets absolutely nothing done. As a random ghost with his gun in the back. There's no observers out though, so they kind of saved him. This is not a super serious army that you need to be afraid of if you have a planetary. I don't think so, at least. Okay, we're gonna get a scan in the main base. I love that. This is something that we see too infrequently in the late game out of Terrans. Is where you just check to see what Stargates are producing. If there's no Tempest being produced, then what's the freaking point? This is gonna be nuke number 1. Out of this nuclear silo. Let's take a look. Does Creator know where it is? I think Creator must have already seen it. Oh, well, now he's definitely seen it. This ghost is going to become visible. A couple of observers around the map. You probably want more observers. The moment someone actually starts running around with Ghost and nuking the entire time, the one thing you want is just vision everywhere. As a new Ghost nuke is going to come in. I mean, this is just going to get spotted as well. Like, that Ghost isn't even invisible. A single DT gets warped in, but I do believe that the nuke is still going to land over here. Oh, there we go. Cannons will end up falling. As this army is getting caught in a bit of a corner. This is such an odd army that Creator has managed to build. There's only 10 Vikings on the map, though. I think that might just be too low. Against the Mothership, 3 Colossus and a Tempest. I think going up to 14 Vikings here is a completely reasonable play. New Ghost already building. Storm's connecting with this entire army as well. So Storms now start connecting with these Liberators. Ghost not that active over here. Infantry armor level 3 does complete. That Creator just kind of barges in here and it says, hello, my dear friend. Liberators try to siege up, but to no avail. As Creator pushes in, will clear this planetary. This army extremely low as well. We have a couple more Storms in the back. DT showing up. Gateway count is at 19, so reinforcements are aplenty. And yeah, with these final Storms, I just don't really see a way for Milky Cow to come back into this. He tried so hard to stay alive in the mid-game. He's going to go for a defensive nuke over here. It's obviously not going to work, as observers are nearby. And I think that should just be it. A very odd game between these two players. 200 supply for Creator, 150 for Milky Cow. And Milky Cow's supply is also fairly damaged. 19 gateways for the quick reinforcements if needed as well. Do we have a Prism in the mix? Yep, there's a Prism in the mix. And there we go. The last Liberators are being targeted down. It's a couple of command centers, but they won't help out as they're orbitals or just a regular command center. GG gets called as Creator's going to take out Milky Cow here. Pretty exciting, Terran versus Protoss.